All right, hello everybody, and thank you for joining me today. So we're going to go over our awesome, exciting new search filters that we can add to your library app. I think I have everything up this time, so you should be able to see the screens and have everything all recorded. But of course, if there's any issues, if there's any delays, just let me know, and I can always go ahead and make any adjustments as needed. Just as a beginning, my normal kind of housekeeping tips is just basically I'm going to have everybody on mute. If you have any questions, feel free to chat them into the chat box. But basically, the mute is just so that if there's anybody, if there's any background noises, it's not going to really be kind of interrupting the the webinar. Although with my luck, it'll probably be on my end. But anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and begin our webinar because it is 10 o'clock now. Well, maybe I'm going to. There we go. All right, so here's a quick overview. So basically, we're going to go over catalog extracts and Boopsie and some of those cool features that we can include because of having this extract from your library. I'll do a quick little video demo of our search filters. And then also there's been some changes to our conference lineup, so I'll also include those updates as well. So the question is, why send Boopsie catalog extracts? I know for some libraries it can be a super tedious process. Like, you have to go in, you have to export the extract, then you have to upload the extract. And if it's not automated, that can take a significant amount of time depending on how used to doing this you are. But there are a lot of benefits to having this catalog extract. So first of all, there's that smart prefix search. So you can search out for Har Pot Gob and find Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. It's super helpful. Also, it helps with improving your search results. So if you can't remember if Stephen, as in Stephen King, is spelled with a PH or a V, you just type in STE and then King, and you'll find all of his titles in here. So that's super helpful. It also applies to other titles as well, especially if you're like, I kind of remember what this person's name is, but not really. Then you can start, narrowing down that list by just entering little snippets of words. And then also, so I just realized I don't have the screenshot of it, but I think 2 weeks ago we did the presentation on the top 20 channel and our ratings and reviews. So both of those are actually tied to your catalog extract. And basically the reason these are all tied to your extract is that it's pulling additional information from your catalog into the app. So for instance, top 20, it relies on the ISBN numbers that we pull from your extract. So what it's doing is it's showing, the ISBN numbers, and then that's linking to WorldCat so that we can show additional information about these titles. Or I think it's Google Books, not WorldCat. But so basically, that's just kind of an idea of what's included or with these catalog extracts. And so I'm going to show you a quick little demo of these search filters. They're super fun. Let's see, I think that's a little slow at the beginning, but let's see. Uh-oh. Come on, video. Oh no, the video's not playing. Okay, so since it's having some issues, let me go ahead and pull it up. Search. Sorry about this. There we go. We'll go ahead and we'll switch over to the demo video. So here's the video. Go ahead and hit play. Oops. Okay, so this is the Salt Lake or St. Louis County Library. I'm sorry about this. All right, so we open up the app. You do a search. As you see, it's a little different than normal. You start entering your title. I'm searching for Gone Girl, although I had an issue with spelling for a second there. And up here at the top, you have these use filters. Oops, scroll past. But basically, this is the new search results for the kind of, so you can see the title on one side and then the image of the cover on one side. So you do your search, You can choose by any media type. You can search by any field, so that's either the author or the title. The next slide is going to have a little bit better of a breakdown, but as you can see, I looked for a book that's called Gone Girl. And so here it narrows it down, so it's just Gone Girl that are titles that are books, because I don't necessarily want to watch the movie. I don't want to have the ebook. I want the physical title to be able to check out. And also, just showing the ratings and reviews feature as well. That's all kind of like tied in from that top 20. So here's that. Let's switch back over to our PowerPoint again. All right, so as I mentioned, I have some breakdown of these search filters. So as you can see, here's some updated search results on the left-hand side. Once they load, it'll have the images of the covers. So it's going to have, has a cover image on the left-hand side, which you kind of saw with that video. It showed a little bit of it. Then on the right-hand side, it has the title of the item, as well as any authors, and then the publisher. So it's nice, little cleaned up, kind of, it's more obvious which records are which, instead of with our previous search results where they all kind of started to blend in together. And then you can also search by any field. So if you're looking for Steve King and you want to just find authors, then you can search, select search by author, and then it would actually perform a search on the author field. If you were looking for a title that happened to start with Steve King, then you can go ahead and switch it to title. And that way you don't have any like mix-ups, especially if, maybe it's a more common like set of letters. That it could either be a title or an author. You can kind of narrow it down at that point. And then also we have these search filters, so you can do it by media type. So it's, the audio, the book, the electronic resource, the e-audio book. And these fields are based off of your catalog extract. So as you can see, this library has both electronic resource and electronic resources. So it is a little bit of sometimes there's multiple fields for one type, and that is something that can be fixed with the catalog extract. So if you only have specific, electronic resources, books, audiobooks, and then we can go ahead and kind of like adjust those, or the search filter would show those instead. And so here is a picture of our engineering team. I figured, they do a lot of great work for us to keep up, with all this cool technology. But we never really give them a shout out in these videos, like saying, hey, like these are the people that actually work on the Boopsie app. And they don't go to our conferences as much. I do know Nicholas, who is on the right-hand side here. He came to ALA in San Francisco for about a day or two. So you were able to, if you happen to stop by, it's quite possible you were able to meet with him then. And then, of course, here's the Boopsie president, Tony Medrano, who is often at our conferences. And so our San Diego team is, full of our engineers. I do have a couple of them that are missing from this picture, but of course they like to take pictures in front of the ocean. So yeah, they're super cool. If you ever run into them at conferences, definitely be sure to say thank you. I know that every time I have a conversation with them, I end up like my calls with, oh my gosh, thank you so much, like 18 times, because they're such a super team. All right. So quick recap on conferences. There's been a couple of schedules changing around. So Mississippi Library Association, Megan's still going to be attending that. I'll be at Virginia Library Association, so come on and stop by. Super happy to meet with you guys. CalCon, which is the Colorado conference, that's going to have both Michelle, who is one of our new account executives, will be presenting, as well as Megan as well. She'll kind of fly from Mississippi to Colorado. Then at Illinois, we'll have Ray, who's our lead sales executive. And then Internet Librarian, you'll have a chance to meet pretty much our whole entire sales team, and me included. So if you're there, feel free to stop by. We're going to have a customer dinner on Tuesday night. So dinner and drinks, if you're in the area, definitely stop by. That is going to be in Monterey, California. So that's about an hour south of here for us. Charleston's Showcase is going to be really fun. That's going to be, Michelle and I are going to be attending that. And then we're going to kind of like flip the hat really quickly and fly from Charleston to Pasadena to go to the California Library Association conference. So lots of conferences kind of like in really close succession, and definitely lots of people to answer any questions you may have. Okay, so I know I super sped through that. But basically, if you have any questions, I'm going to check the chat box in a second. Send them our way, sales@boopsie.com. And if you go to www.boopsie.com/customer-webinars, you can go ahead and register for upcoming webinars. And I know I owe 2 webinars at this point to be uploaded, so those will be uploaded shortly. And of course, if you have to, if you have any questions, feel free to call me directly. My number is 650-241-3300, and I'm extension 9. I know I sped through that super quickly, so let me see if we have any questions. Okay, so Vicki had asked if these changes would be implemented automatically or do we need to request them? So you will need to request the changes. So we are, I believe, at first going to have a couple of just like, as your first up customers, and then it is quite possible that there will be an additional charge to add the integrations depending on your contract size, or your not contract size, your contract level feature set. So I can have a little bit more information on that, based off of individual interactions. All right. It looks like all the questions we have today. Obviously, again, if you have any more, feel free to send me an email, either at katie@boopsie.com or send it over to sales@boopsie.com. Thank you so much for attending today's webinar. I know this is like super short and sweet, but that's kind of like how I like to do it, just so that you can get you all back out on the library floor so you can help out your patrons. All right, so next webinar is going to be probably in 2 weeks from now. I may need to reschedule it because it is during the Charleston showcase. That is going to be about kind of like exciting things that we're finding in the apps and then how it corresponds with other libraries. And also super exciting, we have our Zinio integration. I just saw that last night, actually. It's super cool. So if you have Zinio, definitely want to attend that webinar because it's going to have a lot of like mind-blowing awesomeness coming your way. So yeah, you'll be able to register for that on the customer webinar page. All right, thanks you guys. Have a great rest of your days.